So lesson 1.3 is on subtracting integers. This lesson and the last lesson, lesson 1.2 on adding integers, are roughly the exact same lesson. You're going to continue to follow your rules of same sign sum, which means to add, and different sign difference, which means to subtract. So you're still going to be paying attention to the signs that are in front of your numbers and following your rules, okay? So example number 1, -3 minus 5. There's a minus or a negative in front of the 3 and a minus or a negative in front of the 5. You're just looking at the sign in front of the number. So there is a minus or a negative in front of the 3, so I put my minus or negative above. There is a minus or negative in front of the 5, so I put my minus or negative above that 5. I have the same signs, so my rule tells me to add, take the sum. So 5 plus 3 is 8. And once again, we have to remember to ask ourselves that important question: which has a greater absolute value, or which of these two numbers is farther from 0? 5 is farther from 0. 5 has a negative, so my answer needs to be negative. One of the main differences that you will see in the problem compared to this lesson and last lesson is something that looks like this. Here we have two minuses or two negatives back to back or right next to each other. We need to change both of those signs. We need to karate chop both of those two negatives to a positive. So if you have two negatives back to back, they actually both become positives. 4 has a minus sign above it now, and 5 has a plus sign. I now have different signs, so I need to subtract the two numbers. 5 minus 4 is 1. 5 is farther from 0 compared to 4. 5 is positive, so 1 needs to be positive. I will show you the reason we change both of those to positives. This is the number 6. The opposite of 6 is -6. Okay? Now, the opposite of -6 is a +6. So we can treat this opposite like a negative. This word opposite could be a sign that's associated with negative. So here is 6. The opposite of 6 is -6. And the opposite of -6 is 6. So if I had two minuses, the opposite of -6 is +6. So that is why we change both of those to a positive. So just know, if you ever have two minuses or two negatives back to back like that, you change both signs to positive. Homework: if this is the first day homework, you will do pages 18 and 19, 8 through 15, 50 through 56. If this is your second day, you will do 2 through 7, 17 through 23 odds, number 24, and then 25 through 29 odds. If you are in period 9, you will just do all these problem numbers together.